So, okay, today we will look at the next sutra, that is shloka number 21 in chapter 1. Okay, so we saw in the previous sutra that one is sadhaka. To get into samadhi, he needs to be videhi, that he has already done a lot of tapasya, a lot of sadhana, and then he will be able to straight get into samadhi and also do a lot of work in the society towards the good, betterment of the society and all that. But for the sadhakas who are not yet there, then Patanjali Maharshi says, you need to do your sadhana with Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, and Prajna on daily basis. And then when, then at that point of time, we might feel like, how long we keep doing this? Is it like when we are going to get this Samadhi? That is a kind of feeling we might get into. And then that is why Patanjali Maharshi says, no, it is not like that. But he says, let's see what he says. Okay. So shloka goes like this, shloka number 21. tīvra-saṁvegānām-āsannaḥ. tīvra-saṁvegānām-āsannaḥ. So meaning of each of these words, tīvra means it is intensive, vigorous, or speedy. Tīvra. Samvega means momentum, or with the enthusiasm, with cheerfulness, with the urge. And samvega, Aanaam, both together. Tīvra and samvega both together, aasannah, will bring us to the proximity of samadhi, is what Patanjali Maharshi says. So now in the further sutra, Patanjali Maharshi goes on saying different levels of tīvra, the intensity at which different people practice. I'll quickly read, before we go there to the next shloka, I'll quickly read through this interpretation over here. Intensity and rate of practice. For those who moved forward quickly in their practice and do so with intensity, the fruits of the practice are very close. There are two dimensions here. One is of the speed at which one is moving, and the other is intensity of effort behind it. There are three levels of each, meaning that there are 9 levels of practice. So what he says is there are 3 levels of tīvra, that is fastness or a speed at which you go, and also samvegānām, the intensity at which you practice are also of 3 levels. So 3 into 3, totally there are 9 combinations of practices. Okay. So 3 levels are basically mid pace and medium pace and intense pace of practice. And also the samvegānām, the conviction with which we practice, or intensity at which we practice, or enthusiasm with which we practice, are also 3 levels: mild, medium, and intense levels. So if you put them in a like two-dimensional box, then it is like 9 levels basically. Okay. Now the speed and the long period of time practicing is one thing, and the conviction with which we practice is another thing. So deeper the conviction, deeper the intensity of practice is more important than speed and the time what we spend. Of course, time is needed, but the intensity at which we practice should be high to achieve samadhi. What Patanjali Maharshi is saying in this particular sutra is my understanding. So, anybody would like to add to it? Feel free. Yeah, very much.
Yeah. Hi. So I got the intensity of practice, and like you said, it's more about the intensity rather than the speed. So with the speed, is that like the time? Is it referring to time? Like the speed? I don't quite get. The speed side. I don't get the enthusiasm, energy, and the intensity. What does it mean by the speed of all of that?
So 1 second, I will repeat once again. There are two things. One is tīvra and samvega. These are the two aspects he is talking in our practice. Okay, tīvra is intensive, vigorousness.
Yeah.
Okay, and speedy also. Intense. See, this tīvra is Sanskrit words are amazing. Like they have different meaning in different contexts.
Yeah.
Okay, so tīvra also means speed along with intensity.
Okay.
And vigorousness. It is also speed.
Okay.
Okay, and samvega is a momentum or a enthusiasm with which we practice. Cheerfulness with which we practice. Both are important in our practice. But along with these, some people have a lot of time to practice.
Yeah.
But they don't have these two.
Mm.
That will not take us to the samadhi as fast as we should. So when we bring in that intensiveness or vigorousness and the enthusiasm, cheerfulness in the practice, when we put that in over a period of time, then it will be faster.
Yes. Okay. Clear.
Even though if you don't have much time, but whatever time we put in there, if we do it with tīvra and samvega, that is vigorousness or intensity and that enthusiasm and cheerfulness, then we are in the right direction still.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, because I mean, I can think of many times where I've seen people or heard people doing things for years and years and years and maybe not get the result, or because they're actually probably just spending the time, but not the rigor and the enthusiasm and the intensity. Yeah, I got that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, my understanding is once you start the practice, how fast you are going to the thoughtless state and how much time you are you are in that thoughtless state, that makes the intensity, or
intensity will take you towards that thoughtlessness.
Yeah. Okay. So we should be able to go fast to that thoughtless state as soon as we start the practice.
Yeah.
And we should spend as much as time in a thoughtless state.
Yeah. Of course, more time in the practice is definitely more, but always be aware that we are doing with this vigorousness, intensity and enthusiasm and cheerfulness. And cheerful, like we are having intensity, but we are not. We are bored about doing. We are doing. Then it will not, we can't stay there for long.
Yeah,
So
but once we
we
go to
have
the
both.
yes, sorry. Once we go to thoughtless state, obviously we are feeling very happy.
Yes. Yes. And you don't want
Sorry.
to come over there.
Yeah.
So, Jay, one thing, your intensity doesn't necessarily mean intense frequency, right? Like the frequency, it means, or does it mean the devotion and dedication to what you're doing?
See, devotion we already saw in previous shlokas. Doing it with the devotion. Which shloka is that? 1 second, Tushenji.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, shloka number 14. Yeah, we saw satkara. Satkara is with devotion and positive action, with reverence. So this shloka goes like this: Satu dirghakala nirantarya satkara asevito dhrida bhumihi. Okay, dhrida bhumihi is, it will ground us. What will ground us in the practice is dirghakala nirantarya satkara. Dirghakala is long period of time in the practice, and nirantara, continuous, without any break. Every day we are sitting for 30 minutes here together, so it is nirantara, every day without break. And so how it should be, dirghakala and nirantarya should be with devotion, satkara, and adhere to it, asevito, adhere to these things continuously. So this will ground us in the practice, is what we have seen in the past. That is shloka number 14. And he will more talk about devotion. Again, it is going to come in further shlokas.
Okay.
Devotion is also needed, Tushanji. Did I answer your question?
Oh, you did. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Good. Thank you. It is already 6:46. Anyone have anything else? Otherwise, we will conclude for the day. Have a nice day. And tomorrow we will look at shloka number 22. Okay.